Zach Noe Towers.
Wait,
Check
can
1,
you?
2.
Yeah, there
Hello?
it is.
Do I need to get any closer? Do you want my lines as big as your lines?
It's not a size contest. Although I do love that. I think I unknowingly mimicked how you sat in the chair.
Yes, 100%.
Chris Renfro.
Zach Noe Towers.
Yes, they, them. Wait, talk to me real quick about your journey with pronouns.
Yeah, so, I mean, before the pandemic, would get little glimmers and hints in my mind that, like, something was up. Something was definitely afoot. But I pushed it down a lot because I was like, well, I already have the gay thing and I already have the POC thing. So I'm like, I don't want to add any more things to it. So if we just, like, push it down, it'll be fine. But I'm not thinking about it that hard. Just like, nope, not going to think about it, move on. But obviously when the pandemic hit and we were forced to sit inside and just kind of think about ourselves, I was like, okay, well, let's do it. So it was like a lot of nights just sitting up in bed and staring at walls, watching a lot of Drag Race, actually, which did actually turn out to be a huge help in this.
Okay.
Because I was watching people like Gigi Good at the beginning of the pandemic and then immediately Bimini Bon Boulash. And I was like, oh, okay, there is
a community.
There's a community.
Or like a path.
Yeah, and I could identify with them somehow. And so I struggled with thinking, like, am I a trans woman? Am I somewhere in between? And I mean, I still don't know the answer.
Okay.
But that plus going into Queer as Folk and meeting so many beautiful trans women, and so many of us are non-binary in the cast, and then particularly meeting Finn Argus, my best friend. Like we were on like very similar journeys, and so being able to talk so like frankly and openly with them was just so helpful. I mean, I was using they them before I got to Queer as Folk, but it wasn't until like living in that environment, being in a group of people that was so accepting and open to like letting me play around and ask questions, helped me ground myself. So back to like, I don't know where I land right now. Like some days I do feel like a fraud. I do feel like some days I wake up and I'm like, oh damn, am I a man? Am I a man? And I've been lying to everyone. But then there are some days I wake up and I'm like, that penis should be a vagina. So
interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know what the answer is right now, but I'm very comfortable not knowing the answer, if that answers anything.
I find the older I get, I find so much comfort in saying I don't know to things, like because I don't want to lie. And it's just, it comes down to being honest and knowing that if you had all the answers now, life would be incredibly boring, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. There's fun in not knowing sometimes, and I'm like learning for the first time about that. You know?
I also I'm currently he him, although
I love currently.
No, because they them really does excite me. Because I guess in my head I break it down to like you're not beholden to the stereotypes of like whatever a male and female are presenting to the world. Like you don't really associate 100% as either. Is that like the vibe of it all? I
mean, at least for me, I think it's so different for everyone. The problem I had in my own mind before identifying as non-binary, gender fluid, was that I kind of thought of non-binary as like a third gender. It was like man, woman, and other.
Sure.
And it took me sort of deconstructing that, being like, oh, it means a lot of things else than that. So if like I identify as trans, whereas like someone else in the non-binary community would be like, oh, that's definitely not me. Like I'm specifically this. So there are just like so many different versions. It means something totally different to everyone else.
I think what scares me about the whole when it doesn't scare me, it's I think I've been seeing a lot of like this like conservative rhetoric and like the way I think it's like the overturn of Roe versus Wade, and like the fact that a portion of the country wants to take a step back, and people like you are trying to take leaps forward and like get inside your own mind, understand yourself, and it's like very I guess I am like scared of the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm scared of the future also.
I guess I'm like trying to keep us like safe, and like I just like I can hear the ignorant people who I don't have pronouns. It's like, oh God, this is like what we're up against, you know?
Yeah.
People who just don't have the capacity to explore their mind.
Yeah, it makes me sad a little bit, but also it's like, I guess I don't have to hang out with them.
No,
like
you're
fine, I guess.
so
Like,
right. And today there's none in our vicinity, which is nice.
that we know of.
That we know of yet. I'm currently liberal, but may turn into a dumb redneck any day now. Yeah, you do. Stay hydrated. Chris is coming off of their second tour of COVID.
National
Equity. Tour, booked and blessed by Miss COVID. But what was this is Queer as Folk. You were living in New Orleans.
Yes.
Like, did they have you all staying at the same place? Like, and were you able to like commingle freely, or what was it like COVID wise? Do you know what I mean?
We all had our own places. 'Cause
Right.
We were there for 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, just about 6 months.
Sure. That's half a year. Did you know that?
Yeah, actually, it took me a while to learn that, but it was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we got there in October and then left in March, so nearly 6 months.
Wow.
And no, I mean, we were all very vigilant about COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, we went out maybe twice the whole time, like as a group. We were all like very cognizant, like if one of us gets COVID, we're shutting down a set, and that
Oh my God.
affects hundreds of people. And this show that we're all very much on the same page about being so excited to do.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of like house hangs and slumber parties and dinners with each other. We mingled
very
with
fun.
each other a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and we all called it gay summer camp because it really did feel like that, being like, which counselor are we gonna see today?
Were there any romances? You can just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll leave it at that.
Wait. Did anything end badly?
We're all still friends.
Okay, great.
So like in that sense, no.
Okay.
You know, like I don't think that
Wow.
anyone's on particularly bad terms.
Sure,
like,
sure,
we're
sure.
all still in a group chat. We all hang out separately. I mean, everyone has like their, like everyone's closer to like someone.
Of
for
course,
sure,
of
but, like,
course. That's just gonna happen
Yeah.
naturally.
I feel like at any moment I could hang out with anyone from the cast. And it would be very easy, very nice.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
It was so fun. It was so fun. We're still very close.
And I'm very excited to see the world embracing Queer as Folk in general.
Yeah, I would love for the world to embrace queer folk, period.
Take out the as, just like queer,
Just
queer people, please. It's so funny too. Going back to the conservative, it's like our side is like fighting for like the right to just love, and like the other people are like, fuck you, you shouldn't exist, you're going to hell, we're gonna kill you. It's just crazy. Like if you take a step back and like look at what the sides are fighting for.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like me having anal sex last week does not affect. Like none of them knew about it. It didn't change their life. So like, what the fuck do they care about? I really
Truly.
don't know. And I try to be very zen about it,
Yeah.
but sometimes I'm just so confused
It
when
flares.
I'm guzzling cum.
There's like a guy in Arkansas somewhere like shaking furiously as you're gargling a load.
Yeah, my tether. Chris has sucked down another cock today.
Oh my God. Okay. So you're you. Subject of you.
I am me.
You are you. When did you first what made you horny the first time you got horny? Like,
I know the answer to this.
Okay.
It was Chris O'Donnell in the
Batman?
Batman movies. He was like tied up and I think shirtless, and Poison Ivy was like, ooh, touch, touch, touch. And I was so disinterested in her.
Yeah.
And so interested in him.
you didn't even want to be her?
No.
Oh.
No. I just wanted to be touching Chris O'Donnell.
What happened to him?
He's on NCIS LA.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, I think he's been on it for like 17 years.
Wow,
Yeah,
really
isn't he,
flying
like,
under the radar, Chris.
Isn't he like the main character? Him and like
Maybe.
LL Cool J?
I famously don't watch any of those procedurals.
Yeah, same.
Do you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
It sounded like a very guilty no. Who
No,
was
I
gonna say-
briefly dated someone on a procedural, and I was like, I've never seen your show, and I'm so sorry.
And he's like, I don't watch it either. Or she, I don't know.
No, I think he watched every episode.
Oh.
Hmm.
Do you watch yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I watch it more for the the study of it, to be like, what did I think I was giving and what did I actually
What
give?
did they get?
Yeah, and what did they get? So more just like, oh, how do I like connect the bridge a little bit more?
Sure. Oh, that's smart.
Hmm. I really try to detach myself.
From the result.
Yeah, I'm like, it is what it is. I remember feeling good about it.
Yes.
So don't look at anything else other than like, what did you want to do and what happened and how do we get closer? So that's it.
And it's like you're booked and blessed and busy and people like what you do. So at some point you have to just trust that
Yeah.
the director's getting what they want. You're given the goods.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, this job requires a lot of trust. A lot of trust.
Because you fuck.
I fuck a lot. Yeah.
How was it? Was that your first time doing a lot of sex on camera?
Yeah, it was the first time.
Wow.
And it was with Johnny in the
Mhm.
pilot. It was like one of my first scenes that I filmed. I think we ended up filming, I could be wrong, I could be exaggerating, but I feel like it was like 5 hours for that scene. Maybe it was like 4.5.
Wow. Like 20 people in the room.
There were very few people in the room.
Oh, okay.
It was maybe 4.
And that
but
was intentional?
yeah, every time
Okay.
there's a sex scene, it's fully
Small
closed
group.
set, and it's just like the sound person, the camera person, and the other camera person.
Sure.
And then everyone is outside, and like I think like 4 people get to watch it on a monitor, and everyone else literally has to turn around.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm. So
And did that make you feel good?
honestly, I mean, yes, like I appreciated how like comfortable they made it feel, but also I was comfortable enough to just be like, well, I mean, if you need to see it, you need to see it. Like a naked body's a naked body, and mine
Yeah.
is like not a surprise.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good one.
That's so. I keep just going back to cool. It's so cool that you're part of the show.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris O'Donnell, great. Do you remember when you discovered your body for the first time or your first orgasm?
Oh no. I
Okay.
don't think. No,
Have you had an orgasm yet?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Honey, you'll know.
Is there a checklist, perhaps? No, I recently discovered, or heard of, have not experienced anal orgasms.
Yeah, this gets tossed around a lot. How is it described to you?
Like full body shaking, like feeling
Sure.
like a quiver in the anal region.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever experienced anything like that?
No, I don't think so.
Do you have a percentage that you get penetrated versus penetrate?
I think overall in life it's been pretty 50-50, but I definitely
Nice.
go through phases.
Oh, sure.
Where it's like only doing this or only doing this.
Right.
But in the overall spectrum
It's
of it,
been a half and half.
it's probably half and half.
Also, I should have said at the beginning of this, if there's anything you don't want to talk about or don't feel comfortable with, you can either tell me in real time or I can take it out later.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll listen to it when it goes live and I'll tell you to cut everything.
You need to take it down immediately. Okay, you don't do you remember, like, did you jerk off when you were a kid? Like when you were
Yeah, certainly.
Okay.
Oh, certainly. I was such a horny kid.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. My brain was broken by how horny I was as a kid.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're in good company there.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably not. I'm not in the minority there. You know, as someone with a penis, it's just like that's all you think about sometimes.
Sure. It's just easy. And especially when you're younger, your brain's telling you to do it like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like a parent goes to like do an errand and you're like, can I jerk off right now? For me, it was like, can I boot up the dial up online and like look at a little clip of porn?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm sure I did look at porn. I didn't look at a ton until college.
Okay, because you had like a dorm room.
Yeah, I had
And
an
reliable
apartment,
internet.
reliable internet, privacy, and then just watched too much porn, honestly.
Do you watch porn these days?
Yeah, I do. That's what Twitter's for, right?
Oh my god, Twitter. I had to unfollow some people because I was just horny all the time when I opened Twitter. It'd be like the funniest thing I've ever seen, a news story that made me sad, and then like someone getting fisted, and like I can't.
It really breaks your brain.
It really does.
It is like I was like, this can only be one thing for me, and the only thing I can reliably make it is porn. Like I can't reliably make it just funny or just news because something will sneak in.
Sure. I completely agree.
So now it's just my porn app. I deleted my regular Twitter, and it's like now I'm on private. I just follow the people that I want to follow.
And you don't post?
No.
It's just oh my god,
Fully under like
that's
an
a great
alias.
hack.
Yes, it's just my little porn app now.
That's so interesting too because Circles just came
What is
to
that?
Twitter. It's like me. I have my account, and then I invite people to my inner circle. Like kind of like green circles on Instagram. And like that can kind of be your alt content. A lot of gays are using it to post like nudes.
Oh, got it. Okay, so they just
like,
built in an alt. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, cool. I don't need to use that.
Yeah. I agree. It's wild how. Wait, have your nudes ever leaked? Do you send nudes?
Yeah, I have sent a lot of nudes, and I guess I still do. Yeah,
are you
I
on
do.
the apps?
No. I mean, like technically, I have Grindr. Do I use it?
Not so much.
Pretty seldom. Like even when I do, like I don't really meet up with anyone. I met up with a guy fairly recently, and that was like the oddball. But we knew so many people in common that it was just like, this is fine.
Gonna be fine.
Yeah, and then we've just like been casually seeing each other. So it's more for that. Like I like flirting.
Yeah.
So it's like a great flirting app for me.
Someone called it interactive porn once.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, it's interactive porn, isn't it? Yeah.
Swapping nudes, like that flirty, that like, and of course, I mean, most people love a notification. Like you see Grindr has like, 6, messages for you to check, and you're like, ooh, what's it gonna be?
Oh.
And you're like, gross. Oh, maybe.
It sort of feels like you're playing a slot machine.
Yes, a
right?
slut machine.
A slut machine. God.
What was I gonna say? Wait, we were talking about you jerking off.
As we do.
As you do. Do you remember your first sexual experience with another person?
This is so funny. I was trying to think of it last night, and I don't.
Okay.
Well, it's so the week that I started having sex, I had sex with 2 or 3 different people.
Okay.
And it's hard for me to remember which one was the first.
Okay.
Because in my head they could have all been.
Go off, queen.
I definitely know who I bottomed for first.
Okay.
So that's clear to me because I only bottomed for one of them.
And you'll remember your first time bottoming.
I think it probably was him then.
Wait, can I ask? It was 3 people. Okay. First of all, what was you identify as gay?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When did you know that? Around the Chris O'Donnell time?
No. Like, I only remember that in retrospect, actually.
Okay.
And then I had like an inkling randomly in middle school, probably around when puberty was hitting.
Sure.
Where I was like, the guy that I normally hated, I found myself staring at a lot, and I was like, that's something. Better not think about that. And then in high school, I suspiciously joined the swim team.
Guys in Speedos.
Yeah. And then yeah. But I didn't like come out and like admit it to myself until I was a junior in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like 16 or 17.
What was the vibe on gay in your community, your home?
Community pretty good for my age group.
Where'd you grow up?
In Riverside, California.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
So my age group was like really chill about it. Like a gay guy won homecoming king.
Stop.
Maybe it was prom king. It was one of the kings.
them.
Yeah. And was like very popular, and it was like
that made my day to
it was
hear.
very chill. It was all of our parents my parents were fine, but like all of our parents' generation, that was like really weird about it. It was like very Catholic area, very old school.
Sure.
And so it was sort of like that thing being like, oh, well, when I'm with my friends, it's okay, but when we're with our parents, we say shush shush.
Sure.
Yeah, my parents were fine with it. I never had like a proper coming out. My dad's twin brother's gay. I was just
Your
I've
dad's
always
a carrier
been
of the gay gene.
yes, I've always been very against the idea of coming out because it's like it puts an undue burden on gay people and it like immediately others us and it like sexualizes teens.
Yes.
Like it forces you to sexualize them when you're we do and should be not doing that as adults.
Sure.
So I don't know.
And it's what you said before. It's none of their business. It has no effect on people around you.
Yeah.
You know what I
so
mean?
it's a weird thing.
It's like, okay, if you have a foot fetish, you have to come out and tell your grandpa that you lick women's feet.
Yeah, I'm sucking on toes on Thursdays. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm sure it came out of something that was helpful at a time.
Of course. And it's still important that people feel comfortable doing it. I don't think the work of coming out is done, but I agree with you that it feels like an archaic
Yeah,
thing.
I don't think it serves the same purpose as it once did. You know? Yeah. I'm open to being proved wrong,
Sure.
but that's where I stand right now.
Okay, so the three I was asking your first sexual experiences. Okay, so truly the first time you had sexual experiences with another person, it was like short period of time and it was like sex in what form? Like oral, anal?
It was mostly oral.
Okay.
And then with the guy that I bottomed for, we were versing. And I would say that maybe he was my first boyfriend.
Okay.
I think he did call me his boyfriend. But it was like, I was 19. I had just graduated high school the year previous. He was 18, an exchange student doing his senior year at my high school.
Cool.
And so we were like...
I've seen this porn.
Yeah, we were like sneaking out and like hanging out in my car. And he spoke French and like not much English. And I spoke zero French and some English.
But you made it work.
We made it work, baby. We spoke with our bodies. Yeah, so I think even if I can't remember who exactly was the first, in my head, I just like default to him.
Sure. Were they positive experiences?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
were you waiting to have a gay sexual experience to a certain point, or were you scared to do it in high school, or was it like... You know?
I'm sure I was like a little scared in high school. I didn't keep any journals. Like I really wish I did.
Do you
but,
journal now?
No. No. You know, I just continue
Nor-
to regret it. I'm very active on Facebook.
Okay.
I was. But
So
no.
like you can piece things together from Facebook.
Between Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, like that's our version of a diary at this point.
Well,
right?
I will say I journal every day.
You do?
And have you ever heard of the artist's way?
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't make it through the whole thing.
Okay, cool.
Kind of you with journaling there. But there's like certain things I picked up. One of them is an artist date, where you take yourself on a date. Like for the artist inside, you take the artist in you somewhere. So it could be just to a restaurant you've never been, or like a museum or a show, but you take yourself and only yourself. And the other one is morning pages, where you free write, like you just write for like however long you want, 5, 10, 15 minutes. And the shit that comes up when I'm journaling is crazy.
What do you mean? Like what like recessed memories?
Yeah,
or
sometimes.
just like ramblings?
Yeah. Or I'll remember someone's birthday, or I'll like remember, like I've explained this before to people on the pod, so I forgive. It's like skimming the pool for like bugs and leaves. You're like getting these like weird thoughts out.
Yeah.
I'll even walk myself through a fear. Like, oh, I'm doing the pod with Chris later today. I'm kind of nervous because blah, 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 blah. And then I'll like get to the end of it and I'll be like, I feel much better. It's almost like getting things out that are like on your mind.
Oh, wow. Okay, we were just talking about this before we started recording, about how I'm just coming out of my COVID isolation and I'm feeling supremely anxious, pretty irritable. I find myself like kind of being upset at my friends that I'm hanging out with. And I'm like, well, this is obviously not everyone else's fault. I'm the common denominator here. No, there's not a conspiracy against me. So maybe this week would be a great time
journal.
for journaling, so I don't lose friends.
Do you meditate?
No, I don't. No, I don't meditate.
Nor.
No, I work out, and I claim that that's my meditation, and it does
Yeah.
work. But it more shuts my brain off than it like lets me connect with my
Anything.
body.
Yeah.
Or anything really.
I will say again, like treadmill or stair machine, things will surface too. So I think it is meditative.
Yeah. I just don't like thinking. Pretty smooth up here, if you ask me.
Your brain looks like a marble, not like Ripley.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. No. I have severe OCD. I've wiped that clean.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's really bad.
Do you take anything for it?
I do. So I have ADHD also, and we'd like gone through just like a billion medications over the years, and I've been on Ritalin for a while, and that seems to help. It seems that like I'm ADHD forward rather than OCD forward.
Okay.
So if I like clear up the ADHD, it kind of helps the OCD.
Sure.
But I'm finding recently that like it's really hard. Well, not recently. I've found that it's just hard to be on Ritalin for myself. Like I took one this morning, and it's like it's hard for me to interact. Like
Interesting.
It's not super easy for me to like be funny, feel like I have a personality. It helps me get my work done, and it helps me like suppress like my tics and like really bad thoughts or whatever. But it takes away the thing that I love most is like interacting with people. I'm very extroverted.
Oh my God. I hope this isn't stressing you out.
Oh, certainly isn't stressful. I won't.
Okay.
It's not
You're
that.
just
It's
like-
just like it takes
It's like a little bit of block.
Yeah, it just like takes an extra step in my mind to be like, okay, we are listening, we are responding. You know, like,
You're doing great.
because it makes me just want to go internal.
Oh, that makes complete sense, actually.
It makes me feel comfortable being internal, but then when I'm like, okay, but now I do have to be external with someone, then it's like this extra step again.
Well, if this is you at all impaired, I can't imagine what you're like not on Ritalin. Wait, how long have you been? I got medicated for the first time in my life during the pandemic. It was the best thing I've ever done in my
literally,
life.
congrats.
Thank you. What was your journey like with mental health?
So we didn't talk about it growing up in my family. I don't think many of us did. It's like it's a phenomenon in our generation.
Yeah.
You know? So when I went to college, when I moved off after junior college, I went to UC Irvine. They had free health for all of us, free health insurance, which is the first time I had health insurance, free psychiatric help. And I was just like, hey, let's just do it. And it was there that I discovered I had OCD, ADHD, and started like dabbling in things, but it wasn't until after I graduated college that I was like fully medicated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. My sister's OCD, or she has OCD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's very interesting, and it stems from anxiety.
OCD
For different people.
OCD usually comes from traumatic situations. It's a PTSD response usually. So like if a lot of people that have OCD are like brought up in environments like at the formative ages, like before preteens, are like brought up in environments where they feel like they lack control, or there was like major turbulence in their upbringing and they feel like they can't control that, so they've got to control other things, or they blame themselves.
Oh God.
Yeah.
There's this eerie picture of my little sister when she's like 4, organizing her Skittles like at a birthday party, and it's like like the damage is done.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so after your 3 sexual experiences,
Yes, at
19, and then like were you off to the races after, like sexually, or like what was your sex life like when you were like
fully turned into a hoe in college.
hell yeah.
Yeah, baby.
That's the time to do it. Everyone's kind of a hoe.
Yeah. And so I just absolutely hoed out. And it really it didn't stop until like a year before the pandemic, I think.
Nice.
I went celibate for like 2.5 years, and then I just in the last 6 months have become not celibate.
Stop.
Yeah.
Wait.
I guess it's been 9 months. I keep saying 6.
Can you talk about your journey with celibacy?
Yeah, I discovered that I had a really bad relationship with sex.
Okay.
I was trying to like find my worth through other people's bodies, and was really using other people, truly. You know, I was like using guys as a game to be like, well, if I can get them, that's like another point positive for me.
Someone finds me attractive, I'm desirable.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I can like weaponize my body to get what I want. And obviously that's not good, but it took me a really long time to figure out what I was doing because I wasn't talking about it in therapy because I didn't think it was a problem.
Right.
And I don't remember what the realization was, but something happened. Maybe it's just like over time you've got to come across it if you're someone who thinks internally about yourself. But whatever happened, and I was trying things like trying to be like, okay, maybe I'll just date and stop hooking up. Maybe I'll look at less porn. Maybe that's the thing.
Yeah.
And nothing was really working. So I was like, let me just try celibacy. And it coincided with the pandemic and like thinking a lot. And that's where I came across like a lot of revelations, obviously.
Can you jerk off during celibacy?
Oh, well, yeah, I did jerk off. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean,
sure.
I didn't a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. I definitely have an interesting relationship with sex. I like point to gay hookup culture, but I'm not blaming gay hookup culture. And I definitely used to act compulsively when it came to sex, like kind of like, again, like, oh, grinder, boost of self-esteem, hookup, relieves anxiety, relieves pressure, makes me feel good temporarily, and then like the vicious cycle starts all over again.
Yeah.
But I guess I've encountered it in trying to make long-term relationships work and like keeping sexually active with one person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. Have you been in many long-term relationships?
No. I struggle. I mean, I think I've had one boyfriend in college.
Oh,
You know?
I thought you had a boyfriend now.
No, I'm very much single.
Oh.
Yeah, I've only ever been asked out on a date once in my life, I think.
You're kidding.
Yeah. Like I do blame that on myself a little bit because like not blame, but like I have traditionally been like very open about being like, hey, do you want to go on a date? Like I'm very quick about it usually.
Oh.
But that's just not what I want to be doing anymore.
Oh,
I was
great.
Like, no, I want to be asked.
Oh,
You
well,
know?
I'll take you on a date.
Oh, yay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm a man of my word. So if you want to go on a date, we'll go on a date.
Okay. Yeah. So
Part of that also, I think, is like, it's so interesting because I'm not blaming any culture that I participate in, but like, I feel like in the past, like 5-8 years, it's more like, come hang out or meet me and my friends here. Or like, it's not like, I remember more dates happening 13 years ago when I like first moved to LA, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't point at, it feels like dating has gone down, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it also might just be our age. Like, the interests are
Changing.
shifting. Yeah, priorities are changing.
Yeah.
Like, I notice my other single friends in our age group are talking about just, like, I'm going to spend or, like, put less importance on being like, let's go, you and me, do this thing, carve out time.
Oh,
and
sure.
And more being like, I'm already going to do this. Do you want to come with me?
Yes.
Like, focusing on myself. Do you want to join?
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to bring speed dating back.
Oh, God.
I think it actually sounds kind of appealing
Okay.
because it's like short. So like if there's any inkling of interest, you can follow up. But if not,
Yeah, okay, that sort of gamifies it.
Yeah.
And, like, I really like gamifying my
and
life.
you can swipe them.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Do you remember Next, that MTV show?
Oh my God, The Bus?
Yeah.
Yes, I loved The
Vicious.
Bus. I loved The Bus. I think my friends were on it.
Really?
Yeah, they came. Had a casting call at our junior college, and one of them was certainly on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
All I can think is like 2 polos, layering polos, pop collars. Like that's what I see. Puka
Disgusting.
shells. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see like an actual like movie about that or something.
About Next?
Yes.
Like a documentary?
No, like a written script. I'd love to see a written script about it.
He's like every production company. He's like, could you write a script and we'll see if we like it?
Yeah.
No. Wait, okay, but with celibacy, what was that journey like? Was it hard, easy? Was it like waves of hard and easy?
during the celibacy period, it was actually really nice. And obviously the pandemic helped it because I was like, well, I'm not missing out on anything. It's not like anyone who's out at bars fucking.
Right.
So that helped. It really helped me develop a healthier relationship with sex, which I'm just now learning as I'm like re-immersing myself. But coming out of the celibacy was really hard. Like I found myself being like, it was difficult to be vulnerable again, intimately. And
how long were you celibate?
like 2.5 years almost.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I was finding myself, I thought what I was going to be like, I thought I was going to be a teenager again and be like so fucking horny, like going out there, being reckless. But it was like kind of the opposite. I was really scared, you know, and I am thankful for the first person that I hooked up with after celibacy, because he was also doing that for a much shorter period of time, just a couple months. But it was like really nice to be able to talk to someone and feel comfortable and feel like they were taking care of that and respecting it. Is there a bomb happening outside?
So, and you know what's crazy is these mics won't pick up what we're hearing right now.
No way.
But
this is the loudest thing that I've ever.
So there's like yard work going on. There's someone bringing the bins, the recycling bins, either to or fro.
Just kind of back and forth for fun. It
yeah,
sounds
just like a ride. It's like a Disneyland ride.
Yeah. And then there's like a drill. So
yeah,
these are directional.
I can almost guarantee you won't hear it in the final.
Okay, very
the final
cool.
cut.
Okay, I'll just sound insane.
No, it's great. You're not the first and I will tell you, there is a metal dumpster back there, and when that goes, you almost can't hear yourself talking.
Yeah.
It's like, blah, 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 and you're just like, just wait for it to like an earthquake vibe.
Yeah, I was trying really hard to ignore it, and then I was like, I simply can't.
I'm sorry. And like ADHD, you know, like these things aren't helping.
The Ritalin isn't working.
I also, we talked before the pod about this being a cheap apartment. I love it. But like the windows, as you can see, are like those slat windows that like
you would die in a flood.
Yes. Oh, if bugs want to come in and hibernate, they're coming in to hibernate. Like there's
this is a nest.
But yeah, it's just one of and it's old plumbing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It sounds you're just dragging your apartment for no reason.
I know. I love you, apartment.
The apartment is really nice.
Thanks.
I love this apartment.
Thanks. It's nice, natural light, good location.
Yeah, very cute.
Anyway, not that I have to sell anyone on the apartment. What were we talking? Oh, celibacy. And then
coming back to it has been really hard, and
it just ended when
I got to New Orleans.
Okay.
I was just like, well, if I'm going to be here, might as well, sort of situation, and it felt right. Also,
like a new chapter was dawning.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, why not? So I do find myself being like, there was like a couple of like the first people that I hooked up with. I was like, well, I wish I was in like a better place and more comfortable, because I feel like that might have been able to turn into something, but I was like so not ready, and I was like so scared that I think that maybe that hindered something from coming up. But I ultimately am like not too hard on myself about it.
But that was in New Orleans?
Yeah.
Okay. So like, I mean, you're probably also in vacation mode a little bit, because you're like, I don't live here.
It's sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, certainly at first. Like by the end of it, I felt like I lived there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But now that I'm back in LA, I've started like actually dating, like going out on actual, let's go to dinners and come to my house and we'll watch some TVs and whatever's. And now I feel like I'm getting back into the groove, but it's taken me almost a year to like 3/4 of a year to get there.
Do you have boundaries set up around what your dates look like? Like no sex till this point?
No.
Okay.
No, I've never been like that. I just like let it, whatever happens. But I am better at speaking up and saying what I want now.
Sure.
Whereas before it was even if I didn't want to have sex, I would just do it. But now I'm very clear. I'm very comfortable to be like, I'm not really into this.
Yeah.
But I think what it was before is like I didn't know how to say it in a way like that didn't offend someone.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Like kind of like being too polite to say no, or
being too scared of like hurting someone else,
of course, which
and
is
not putting yourself first.
Wild, because then you're hurting yourself.
Yeah, and there was too much of that going on for me.
Yeah.
So I'm in a better place now. Certainly not perfect, but much better than I was 3 years ago.
Good.
And so I take that as a success.
Good. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Okay. So sex these days is, now I don't want to say more selective, but more, oh my God.
No, yeah, I mean, you're circling the drain a little bit there. Because, yeah, I mean, yes, it is more selective.
Yeah.
I'm not just
Curated.
curated, perhaps. I think more meaningful.
Okay.
You're right? Like, they're not just...
It's not by volume, it's by quality.
Yeah, yes, yeah. I mean, like, I think I've hooked up with, like, one random person, you know?
Like an app person.
Yeah. Like in New Orleans, I was just like, let me try it. You know, it's Mardi Gras. Or I don't think it was Mardi Gras at that point.
It
but
was
definitely always
something.
had a Mardi Gras vibe. It wasn't Mardi Gras, but
Was
yeah.
it good?
Yeah. It wasn't bad.
Okay.
You know? But it was illuminating in that, like, I was like, oh, I don't want to just hook up. And that was the hesitancy in my voice. It wasn't that he or the experience was bad.
Yeah,
It was
just
more
like-
just like, oh, I don't want to be doing that anymore.
Oh, and I
Yeah.
just love the self-reflection because I don't think everyone does it. Where they go like, "Why am I doing this? What am I looking for here? What do I hope to get out of this? Like, why? Like, what are my motivations?" Sort of.
Yeah. And I've just come to realize that sex means more to me than I thought it did before. You know? Like,
love
it
that.
can't always just be so casual for me like I thought it could be. I thought that if I told myself I could just be a casual sex haver,
Yeah.
then I would be.
Yeah.
But it's just not the case.
Was it any part of your surroundings like you feel like people around you just do sex?
Oh yeah, a lot of my friends, my close friends, growing up they're all very sex positive,
Yeah.
and I consider myself sex positive too. But they were
Right.
very good at having casual sex and not feeling,
Compartmentalizing.
yeah, just being like, oh no, this is fun and that's okay. And I thought that could be me too, but it's not. You know, it's taken me 12 plus years to figure that out. 11 years.
Hey,
Yeah, better.
some people never do.
Yeah, better late than never.
Wow. Okay. Let's play a round of hot or not.
Ooh, okay.
I'll pitch things and you tell me if you find them hot or not.
Okay, great.
Okay.
I like this game.
Oh, yay. Okay. And you can like elaborate or explain, or if you feel the need to defend, which you probably won't, but okay. PDA.
Oh, hot.
Is there,
I'm such a I'm
Touch.
such a touchy person. Me and my best friend Finn are often mistaken as partners.
maybe this is who I thought was your
Oh yeah, you must. Everyone thinks that Finn and I are together, because we are so
Always together.
We're always together. We're very romantic with each other.
What does that look like? Kissing or hugging,
it's like a lot
cuddling?
of hugging, a lot of cuddling. I mean, it's like a lot of face kissing, like cheeks and foreheads, and you know, it's like it's a very romantic friendship in that sense.
Do you have that with anyone else, or is it primarily them?
I do have a lot of those friendships, but Finn is. I mean,
The
we've talked
primary.
about it, like my primary,
Your primary
romantic platonic.
I love that. I don't see it often, I don't think.
No.
And I guess I'm always worried that someone might misinterpret intimate touching as moving towards intimacy.
I mean, luckily we have such an open dialogue between us. Like, it's very comfortable, and they are like so good about that. Whereas like I'm maybe okay at it.
Yeah.
That it's never been an issue for too long.
Sure.
Like we get stretches where it's like something's afoot here, but one of us brings it up inevitably, like before it turns into anything.
Great.
And so yeah, like
Yeah.
it's
It takes navigating like anything else.
it's very much we're very communicative, you know, like often checking in, being like, is this okay? It's constant, like,
constant enthusiastic consent.
yeah, exactly.
I just realized I think the most intimate ongoing touching relationship with a girl, my friend Kelsey, because she's also very like sex positive. Like I think I saw her naked within like days of meeting her. She's just very comfortable. She's just that girl. So I can like I can like hug her forever. You know what I mean? I'm just like, like comfort.
Yeah.
Wait, do you know what your love language is, or your love language is?
Yeah. Okay. Physical touch is number 1.
Yeah.
And then quality time.
That's one of mine.
And then at the bottom of that is probably like gifts.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate it for sure, but it's like I don't need it.
Right. Especially nowadays when we're like, if you want or need something, you probably just get it for yourself.
Yeah, though giving gifts is pretty high on mine. I really like giving gifts. My top 3 are physical touch again, giving gifts, and then quality time.
I love quality time. And I'm glad love languages like made it onto the scene, because I never knew why I didn't care what we were doing. I was just like, I'm here. Like, you're here. Like, what do you want to do? Like, I don't care, because I just want to spend time with the person.
Yeah.
I like acts of service too.
Okay, yeah.
Like helping someone achieve something, or like, shoveling the driveway.
You're from the Midwest.
Yes.
There
Isn't
you
that crazy? I've lived here like 14 years, and I pulled from childhood.
Interesting. Yeah, that's in the middle of the road for me.
Sure.
Like it's nice.
Yeah.
And it's nice to give.
But it's not a hug.
It's not a fucking hug, you stupid bitch.
Is there a line with PDA, like when it goes too far?
The only time I feel uncomfortable with PDA is like when I'm third wheeling it and it like
they're edging you out.
Yeah, moves into the territory of forgetting that I'm there.
Ooh.
Which happens sometimes.
Ooh.
That's the only time that I'm not into.
Is it at least at like a bar or club setting, or
like that I wouldn't care about. 'Cause I'm like,
yeah.
Personally, I'm like, I could talk to any stranger and it's fine.
Sure.
It's like I have couple friends that I hang out with like as the third,
and you're like,
and then sometimes it's like, what's happening over
do
here?
I hear?
Are you gonna
Should
suck
I
and
go?
fuck now? Do I have to go? Like that's the only time I'm not interested.
Sure.
But I'm like, yeah, if I'm hanging out with a couple and they want to like cuddle and I'm on the couch, that's the other one. Like I don't care. That's fine. That's beautiful.
I love that.
But it's when it's oh yeah, Chris is
Sorry.
here, huh? It's like, okay, well, just read the room, read the me.
Read the me.
Yeah, but usually very open about it. So it's like that line is far down.
Sure. Okay, what about genitalia piercings?
Oh,
or nipples?
Not on both ends.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Can you point to a reason why?
Just aesthetically, I don't like them.
Okay.
I just don't. I think they're. I love that you get them. Cool, fun. To me,
Yeah.
they actually seem goofy.
Oh.
Yeah, it takes me out of it. It's,
like hack.
it's just like it's kind of funny to me. I don't know. Like it's not sexy.
I do always get worried for safety, like especially when I see a dickhead piercing.
I've never seen one in real life, but I've seen them on porn, and I'm like, ooh, scary.
Yeah, I'm like, if there happens to be a latch in my butthole for whatever reason, you're
Not
gonna
my
catch it
butthole
on
latch.
the latch.
Yeah.
You pull it like an emergency seat flies out of my head. Okay. Piercings. No. Spit.
Oh no.
Okay.
No. I
Okay.
mean, there have been 2 occasions probably that I was like, yes, okay. But it only okay is as good as it's gonna get for me. I part of my OCD is contamination OCD, and it really is, for lack of a better word, triggering. Like
Sure.
it really messes with me. Yeah. I was dating this guy, and he was really into spitting in my mouth, but like not in the like sort of way, the kind that like dribbled down and just like puddled. It was the most disgusting thing that I've ever experienced.
Wait, like a lot of spit, like
Yeah.
a liquid spit.
Yeah, it fully ruined our sex life.
You like almost triggered a gag reflex in me.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't be like a shot of saliva.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. He was just transferring shot of saliva into my mouth, and I was not at a point where I knew how to talk about like saying,
yeah,
like that's not in, and so it just ruined our sex life. Honestly.
Oh God, because you're like, I don't want to do anything that's gonna make him
Exactly.
wanna
I was
do that.
scared to hook up with him after that.
Oh my God.
You know?
And like nowadays, you would just be like, hey, do you need to do that? Or
I would just say no. I wouldn't even check in. I would just be like, I'm not into that. We're not going to do that. but we can keep going.
You can keep going if you fucking dry out that mouth. Put a paper towel in there for a second.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's very different than having like a very
airy,
very salivating mouth. Like,
Sure.
whatever. Like, I'm not gonna knock anyone for that, but it was the intention behind. I'm like, oh no. Actually, next question. Actually,
what about sex that leaves a mark, like either a hickey or a bruise or a scratch?
I don't want a hickey. I feel like if you're leaving hickeys, you're 12.
Yeah. Oh,
And that feels
slutty 12-year-old.
Yeah. I don't know. That I'm like, I don't need that.
Sure.
I leave marks on people, so it's hard for me to say no.
Wait, go on.
I'm very scratchy. I'm very bitey.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
That's your like go-to to like. What's your favorite part to bite?
Everything.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, not the penis. I'm not gonna bite anyone's penis. So like, don't worry about that with me. That's not gonna happen. But like shoulders, butts.
Nice.
Yeah, I bite my friends too. Like,
Okay.
it's just like a constant thing.
I do often bite people's like upper arm.
Yeah,
Like,
it's constant.
that's so interesting. I wonder what that's all about.
Just oral fixation, probably.
sure,
you
sure,
know?
sure.
I was also a smoker for like 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
And you think some nicotine might be
Yeah, I'm looking
somewhere
for
in
the
their
nicotine
body?
fix, yeah. Give it to me, baby. No, just like something about like
Sure, like-
using my mouth, you know?
Mm-hmm. Wait, could you rank? Oh, do you have a favorite sex? Like a
With men,
yeah.
I guess, or people with.
Oh, like I'm sorry, I meant like HJ, BJ, anal, rimming. Like, do you have a favorite in that list?
Oh, honestly, you probably categorized it in that order for me.
HJ, BJ, anal, rimming.
Yeah, I might.
HJ's at the top.
I might switch rimming actually with anal. I like in my.
Are you a side gay?
I just learned about this, and I'm slowly considering maybe. I'm slowly thinking perhaps, you know,
Currently.
like it is sometimes. It's a sometimes thing for me.
Sure.
Now I'm realizing because I didn't know that was a possibility until like I met some friends recently who I won't out because I don't know if they want that business out there. But discovering like, oh, wait a second, you don't need to do that.
Anal?
Yeah, like yeah.
I have so many thoughts that you just like awakened, but like it's crazy that we like didn't know that was on the table until recently.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So much is put on penetrative anal sex. And like for me, like I've been fucked and had mind-blowing orgasms. Some would say anal orgasms maybe.
Oh, okay.
Like blackout, shiver, twitch. But like I've also had awesome blowjob experiences or make out and jerk off experiences that might be just as fulfilling.
Oh, very much the same.
So it's like,
yes.
I don't need to endure the trauma of getting fucked in the ass all the time.
Yeah, I'm there. Like, I don't think that I very often have very satisfying sexual experiences without the anal on either end, giving or receiving.
Mhm.
So, like, why then?
Yeah.
Like, it's a sometimes treat. Like, if you or me
Sometimes
like
treat.
really want it and
Yeah,
we're both
like,
down, sure,
do
fine.
it.
But it doesn't need to just be like, and now's the time
Anal.
for this. It's
Yep.
like, it doesn't have to.
A lot of guys on Grindr would disagree.
Uh-huh.
Like only looking to fuck a raw hole. It's like,
Yeah, that's-
Jesus Christ. We don't know each other.
Yeah, that's very interesting to me, and that is something that I don't do anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's even something. I don't know if the inventor of kudos is what. I don't know if
you
they
don't
wanted
think
me
that
to
that's
tag that. Kudos was like a snack granola bar. It was a candy bar. Okay. I think I know the answer for this one, but water sports.
No.
Yeah.
100% no.
That's like also a trigger, probably.
Yeah. I had an ex do it to me in the shower, just like as a joke.
Yeah.
Like start peeing on me.
And you freaked out.
I got so mad.
Really?
Yeah.
Even in the shower.
Yeah.
Did you think it? Did you think
It
it was
feels so
disrespectful?
disrespectful, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It feels
I think therein
will
lies
say-
the horniness for some people.
Yeah, I will say he's like the nicest guy, and we do still talk. But in that moment, I was like, okay, I know where the line is, and this is not it. And I turned his stream around and pointed it at his face, and I was like, you receive it now.
And he was like, oh.
Yeah, but luckily he's like such a nice guy. He's like, okay, got it.
Okay.
He's like, no, you're correct. Okay.
Interesting.
He's
I think
so nice.
peeing on someone in the shower to me is
It was the low stakes of it.
It's that's unfortunately funny to me because I'm like, you dick. Like, obviously, it's not going to cause me any like long term, and I know I'm very cool. So like, if someone pees on me, I'm like, you're the weirdo here. You know what I mean? Okay. Dom sub behavior.
Yeah, sometimes, but not in the extremes of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was hooking up with this guy, like, occasionally, that I was the top for, and he was a dom bottom, and I had never been and have never been in one since. But, like, to the point of, like, he was degrading me. And I was like, oh, I actually am not into this. I was like, I actually am like really sensitive, and I actually need you to be like cheering me on right now, not calling me a little piece of shit. So that was disinteresting to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting too because like dom sub doesn't need to be degradation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's like, I guess it's a fine line.
It is a very fine line. I'm into it sometimes if I'm comfortable in the relationship.
Sure.
And maybe like a little bit like scattered in here and there for like seasoning, you know, like that is totally fine. But the whole experience being that with like a stranger or someone like, new is not. It's like this is what you think. To me, it's like this is what you think sex has to be, and that is troubling to me sometimes, regardless if it's true or not.
Yeah,
you know, just to me personally, that's how I feel.
I guess too, when you're probably more in the market for sustainable sexual behavior, that doesn't feel very sustainable to me. Like, even if you were into that, how many times could you do it, be called a piece of shit from this guy before it was like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I mean, going back to that, I'm like a very sensitive person. So I just like, I would internalize it, even with the aftercare and even with like the reassurance of whatnot. It was just like, I
didn't like it.
Yeah. Overall, I'm into it sometimes. So I will say it's like, it's not hot. It's a medium.
It's like, okay.
It's surely a
70,
medium.
30, 80,
yeah,
20.
like I'm definitely into it sometimes.
Sure. So when you are you like a pleaser? Do you like, who comes first?
Oh, yeah, I'm into pleasing. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty
accurate.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That gets me off.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Come.
I'm familiar. Is that
Is she hot or is she not?
Yes.
I
would say also like
even a little bit.
I'd say like a medium also. Like I'm not a fan of the flavor. Like I wish she would rebrand a little bit, get a new formula.
Seriously. Like clear Pepsi. But
yeah.
like, you know.
I wish she was full of sugar.
Oh my, if cum were sweet, I mean,
the human race would go extinct is why. Like it has to taste bad, or else we would just be doing that. You know,
like, no,
if it
please put it in my vagina.
Yeah, if it tasted so good, we would be like, no one would get pregnant. Evolutionarily, it has to taste that way.
Also, restaurants, they would never sell a dessert.
Oh my god!
Because the guy would be like, "I got you.
I got you, babe."
And I'd be like, "Let's go.
Yeah.
Let me get that marshmallow fluff."
No, I don't like that you said that.
Whatever, it'd be so good. Okay. Wait, do you have a favorite way to orgasm? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, no, I guess I've never really thought about that.
Okay.
Way to orgasm. No,
Okay.
I don't. I wish I had an answer to that. I've never really thought about that.
No, okay, something you could journal, maybe.
Yeah.
If you picked up the fucking pen.
I can't write. The consumption's taking over. No, I think it's just, it's been so different every time.
Yeah.
I'm just like into like, I'm very into the like just seeing where things go, natural flow, very whatever, and then wherever we land, we land. And honestly, most of the time when I'm having sex, I don't come. And it's very fulfilling still.
I love that.
Uh-huh.
Do you find the partner comes?
Yeah, I would say a lot of the time. More than a majority.
Do you find it fulfilling? Is there any reason you don't often come? I went through a patch with my SSRI where it was like I had to squeak out orgasms, and it was like very like concentrate.
Yeah, I mean it could be because of medications, but No, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have an answer to that, but I am also like not.
You're not stressed about it.
Yeah, it's something that doesn't really stress me out.
Just
I've
enjoy
noticed
it.
it stresses other people out because
That
like
you don't come.
that I don't come, but I'm like, no, hey, honestly, like I had fun and it's
Very happy
I
to
feel
be here.
very satisfied, so it's completely fine. I just like the experience of it, like.
Yeah.
It in this sense, it is the journey, not the end for me. I know how like cheesy that is, but I'm like, no, I just like.
It is about the journey. It's about the journey. Also, is a reminder to stay present.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know? Okay. Oh, threesomes.
Oh yeah, I'm very into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever
very into
prefer? Are
that.
you the guest star, or do you like it to be 3 people who are not in a relationship, or you're?
I don't know if I've been in one where the other 2 weren't in a relationship.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Even the one time that I'm imagining that they weren't in a relationship, I think that they were like courting each other. So there was like
Sure.
something else there. So, but no, I've had pretty much only good experiences in threesomes. I
And
don't
you're
think
the
I've
guest
had.
star usually.
Yeah. I don't think I've had any negative experiences. So it's all been like, yeah, I'm very into that. And I've had like threesomes with friends too, like that's
Really?
or group sex with friends, and like that was positive experience. Like we high-fived afterwards.
Stop.
Yeah, it was a surprise to us, I will say.
It
like, we
was?
did not plan it.
Okay. Wait, walk me through sexual experiences with friends, because I'm always curious about how it's done successfully.
Yeah, so I was a third in this couple for a really long time, and we were also just friends, like hanging out sometimes. And so this one night I brought my friend to meet them so I could like start integrating groups a little bit, and then just like it naturally turned into us hooking up.
But you didn't know that it was going to be sexual?
No, I guess I should have in retrospect, but no, at the time it was like very honestly surprised, but it was a very positive experience.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we're more comfortable with each other after that. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
Nothing weird about it, honestly.
That's very aspirational to me. I think I have certain hang-ups. Certain friends, I've like erased their genitalia. Do you know what I mean? I'm like,
oh yeah, you
don't have a penis.
Yes, yeah. No, I mean, I've hooked up with a lot of my friends actually, and I usually remain friends with like the people I date.
Sure. That's good.
So I mean, it's hard. It's difficult sometimes, especially like if I'm the one being broken up with and still wanting to stay friends. It's like certainly a journey, but for better or for worse, I do it, and I think it's pretty successful.
Amazing. The very last thing is, if you could give little Chris like a piece of advice or words of encouragement before he began the sexual journey, what would that be?
I would say, little Chris, don't use sex as a way to escape working on yourself. Look at the problems or the things that are giving you worry and anxiety, and like actually be honest and like take the steps that are scary, and ask the questions that make you feel uncomfortable earlier rather than later, because they're just going to actually turn into bigger problems.
Oh, someone told me recently, well, 2 things. They were like, go towards your fear. Like if you find yourself being afraid of something, go towards it. And then the other one was spend your free time building a life you want, not escaping the one you have.
Ooh, I like that.
Because it's so that.
Yeah.
It's like for me, it was drinks and drugs and sex, but like, drinking to like forget. And now it's like, I don't want to forget any of my life. Like I'm loving it. So it's like, do the work.
Yeah, just do the work.
Where can people find you?
You can find me primarily on Instagram at the Meat Skeleton, MEAT Skeleton. You can catch all the episodes of Queer as Folk streaming on Peacock if you're in the U.S. And then, I don't know, somewhere else if you're not in the U.S.
Yeah.
Tom Swift on the CW on Tuesday nights at 9/8 Central.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, it's a newer show.
Fuck yeah. Congrats.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, you probably wouldn't be available to do this podcast this time next year.
Yeah, fingers crossed we never talk again.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.